everyone, I'm Olivia.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're Drivin and Vibin.
Today's Monday, so we're going to continue our Word of the Week series. This week's word is security, and we got it from a lot of questions received from our YouTube channel over the last few months.
Yeah, we wanted to take this time to talk a little bit about how we approach security while on the road and the precautions we take.
And we'll start by discussing what security means to us and how we approach the idea of it.
I think we have a similar mindset as a lot of other RVers and friends of ours, where we think it's mainly a state of mind, and we use a lot of our instincts and common sense when we approach this subject.
Yeah, we're aware that anything can happen to anybody at any time of the day, so we try not to focus on that, but instead we try to focus on the areas where we can obtain peace of mind while out here on the road.
Yeah, our first step in getting that peace of mind is doing our research. We research the campgrounds and the towns we're going to be in. We love to read reviews by other RVers who have stayed there before us, and it really gives you a good sense of what it'll be like going into it.
Yeah, Campendium is good for that, but also Free Campsites is great because they have a ton of reviews, and not only can you read reviews of boondocking sites, but sometimes Walmarts and places like that, so you can get an idea if people have had issues with theft or anything like that in the past at these locations.
And there's some things we like to consider when setting up camp. The first is just get a feel for it yourself when you get there and scout out the area, kind of drive around and see the kind of feel you get from it.
Yeah, that's what we do before we even unhitch the camper. We're going to drive around. And it doesn't matter if it is a Walmart or if it is a boondocking spot. We want to see what the area is telling us as far as if we're going to feel good there.
Yeah, we like to take note of how much traffic is coming in and out. I find the nights where we're most restless and don't get as good of a sleep are when there's constant traffic coming in and out all throughout the night.
Yeah, and the traffic can vary. You know, if it's a lot of local traffic, that kind of is a little more unnerving. If it's more campers coming in and out, just trying to set up camp, then it kind of feels like we're in a part of a community there.
And it may not have much to do with safety, but other than an annoyance in the background that just may not let you get the best night's sleep.
So if we are going to be camping at a parking lot like a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel, something like that,
Or a city park.
or a city park even, we want to camp under a well-lit area. That just gives us a little better sense of security, and we can even sometimes scout out to see if their camera is recording if we're in a parking lot.
Yeah, and it's a good idea to always remain visible, camp nearby other campers, not right up next to them, obviously, when you want to give them their space, but just so you can see one another and people are within distance if you were to need help for any reason.
And as far as boondocking goes, really that is when we're at our most comfortable, when we're out in nature boondocking, because usually there's nobody there, and if there is anyone there, it's just another like-minded traveler looking for peace and serenity out there among nature.
And this is what we typically encounter while we're out on the road. One last thing to keep in mind when choosing a campsite or a campground, or you're in an area, it's just to see if you have any cell signal. Should there be any type of an emergency, it's nice to be able to know that you are a call away.
And even if you don't have cell signal at the site, just be aware of where the last area was where you did have cell signal, so you know where you need to go if you need to make that call.
Definitely. Maybe just pulling into the road to the campground was better signal than where you're actually camped at.
And as far as leaving the camper at a location, we do take a lot of precautions for security and safety in those situations. And the first and most simple is locking everything up.
Yeah, we lock the doors, we lock our hitch, and we lock the bed of our truck.
And we even have a lock for the generator if we decide to leave it out. A lot of times these boondocking sites, it does feel safe to leave the generator out locked up.
Yeah, it just depends on the fuel you get. Sometimes we decide to take it with us and lock it into the bed of the truck and not draw attention to ourselves.
Exactly. And the last measure that really is helpful when we're leaving the camper behind is sometimes we'll leave Riv in the camper, and having a guard dog is always just one great layer of added security.
Yep, she usually likes to sit in the window and see what's going on and scout everything out. So we have our little guard dog sitting there watching everyone. And if we decide to take the dog with us, sometimes we might just leave a light on.
And one more thing to touch on is that this lifestyle, we kind of chose it because of the minimal aspect and qualities of it. So we don't have very many things of value to us, and definitely not very many things we can't live without.
Definitely. I think we have very few valuable items. Maybe our most valuable is our composting toilet, but I don't think too many people will want to steal that. So I think we're good.
So to kind of wrap it up, we do understand that security and safety means something different to everybody else, and everyone needs to find what works best for them in these situations.
What makes you feel most comfortable, but honestly, we have never felt unsafe this far out on the road, and just a lot of these things on this list we do subconsciously. It's not out in the forefront of our mind, and it's not a worry we have all the time, because we try our best to just live in the present and not worry about things that we can't change.
And the beauty about having a home on wheels is that if we do feel unsettled or uncomfortable, we can simply hitch up and leave. And we recommend that to anybody who has that feeling ever, because it's not worth your peace of mind to stay somewhere where you don't feel comfortable.
Definitely. Just follow your intuition and your gut instinct. More often than not, you will already pick up on the vibe of a place and know whether or not you're going to feel comfortable there, and might take some extra precautions in that area, or just decide to leave altogether.
Yep. So thank y'all for asking those questions about RV security in the past week or so. We really are glad it inspired us to get around and kind of focus on what makes us feel safe and secure, and share it with y'all.
Yep, so this is how we approach this in our lives. If you have any other tips or tricks for the other viewers, please leave those in the comments below. Leave us more questions and comments for us to answer next week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later on.